Airport staff kicked out Keanu Reeves, but regretted everything when his true identity was revealed. Where are you watching this video from? Please comment and let us know. Also, don't forget to like the video and help us reach 1,000 subscribers. It was a chaotic morning at JFK Airport. Passengers scurried across terminals, dragging overstuffed suitcases, their faces marked with exhaustion. Amid the chaos, a casually dressed man, wearing a baseball cap and sunglasses, stood at the check-in counter, patiently waiting his turn. His attire was unremarkable, a simple black hoodie, worn jeans and sneakers. He looked like any other traveler, albeit slightly taller and more composed. But the staff at the counter were having none of it. "Sir, I've told you already," the attendant said with a sharp tone, barely glancing up from her computer. "This line is for first-class passengers only. Economy check-in is over there." She pointed dismissively toward a long, winding line that seemed to stretch into eternity. The man adjusted his cap and replied calmly, "I am flying first class. Here's my ticket." He slid a crumpled boarding pass across the counter. The attendant barely glanced at it before shaking her head. "This doesn't look right. Do you even belong here?" Her voice carried a note of condescension that turned heads in the vicinity. A murmur spread among the passengers nearby. Some whispered, some chuckled, and one or two shook their heads in disbelief. The man, however, remained unfazed. He simply smiled and said, "I think there's been a misunderstanding. Could you please check again?" "Security," the attendant called out, ignoring his plea. Within moments, 2 burly guards approach, their expressions stern. "This gentleman refuses to cooperate and is holding up the line." The man sighed but complied as the guards escorted him away. He didn't resist, didn't raise his voice, just quietly went with them, leaving behind a crowd that was now abuzz with speculation. In a dimly lit holding room, one of the guards leaned in. "All right, buddy. Who do you think you are? Causing a scene out there?" The man removed his sunglasses and cap, revealing a familiar face, one that had graced movie screens and magazine covers worldwide. It was Keanu Reeves. The room fell silent. The guards exchanged wide-eyed glances, their tough demeanors dissolving into sheepishness. "Mr. Reeves," one of them stammered, We didn't recognize you." Keanu chuckled softly. "It's all right. Mistakes happen. But if you don't mind, I'd really like to catch my flight." We'll sort this out right away," the other guard said, hastily reaching for the intercom. And, we're really sorry about this." Word spread like wildfire. By the time Keanu was escorted back to the check-in counter, the once dismissive attendant looked as though she wanted to crawl under the desk. Her face was flushed, and her hands trembled as she handed him his boarding pass. "Mr. Reeves, I'm so sorry for the inconvenience. I didn't realize." Keanu gave her a reassuring smile. "No harm done. It's a busy day. I get it." As he prepared to walk away, a young woman in the line behind him stepped forward. "Excuse me," she said hesitantly, her voice barely above a whisper. "I just want to say thank you, not just for your movies, but for everything you do. You're really inspiring." Keanu paused and turned to face her fully. "Thank you. That means a lot to me." He extended his hand, and she shook it, tears brimming in her eyes. But as he turned to leave, a small boy tugged at his sleeve. The child's mother, clearly embarrassed, tried to pull him back, but Keanu knelt down to the boy's level. "Are you really John Wick?" the boy asked, eyes wide with wonder. Keanu grinned. "Sometimes. But today I'm just Keanu." He reached into his pocket, pulled out a pen, and signed the boy's boarding pass. The moment seemed to diffuse the tension, drawing smiles from even the most irritable passengers. A few people clapped while others whispered excitedly. "What a guy," someone said. Keanu's flight was called, and as he walked toward the gate, a passenger shouted, "You're the man, Keanu!" Laughter and applause followed him down the terminal. But the story doesn't end there. After boarding, the captain made a surprise announcement. "Ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest on board today. I'd like to personally apologize to Mr. Keanu Reeves for the misunderstanding earlier, to show our gratitude for his patience and humility. This airline is donating $50,000 to a charity of his choice." Keanu stood up, his face a mix of surprise and gratitude. He took the intercom from the flight attendant and spoke to the passengers. "Thank you for this gesture, but let's not make this about me. Let's make it about kindness. I'd like the donation to go to a shelter for homeless youth. And to everyone here, remember, patience and understanding go a long way. Safe travels, everyone." As the plane soared into the sky, passengers couldn't stop talking about the man who had turned an embarrassing moment into an opportunity to inspire. The airline staff learned a valuable lesson about humility and respect, and the world gained yet another story of why Keanu Reeves is one of the most beloved figures of our time. And the boy with the signed boarding pass, he kept it framed on his wall, a reminder that even the biggest stars shine brightest when they're down to earth. A week later, the boy's mother posted the story online, and it quickly went viral. Comments flooded in from people who shared their own encounters with Keanu, each one reaffirming his reputation as a genuinely kind and humble individual. One story stood out. A nurse recounted how he had quietly paid the hospital bills for a family struggling to afford care for their child. Back at the airport, the attendant who had dismissed Keanu couldn't stop thinking about the incident. She decided to write him a letter of apology. In it, she poured out her regret and thanked him for his grace and humility. She never expected a response, but a month later, she received a handwritten note. "Dear Sarah, thank you for your kind words. It takes courage to admit when we've made a mistake, and I respect that deeply. Remember, every day is a new chance to be better than we were yesterday. Wishing you all the best. Warm regards, Keanu." From that day on, Sarah treated every passenger with the kindness and respect she wished she'd shown him. And as for Keanu, he continued to live his life with quiet generosity, never seeking the spotlight, but always finding ways to make the world a little brighter.